Yo, why is it every time I want to film, the cops are super active? They're only active after 6 on a Sunday. Like, is that when all the crimes in the hood are committed? We are gonna fuck up a party tonight. Just watch. Tonight, me feel like spend some cash. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Nicolah. If you are new, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. And if you're old, you already know what it is. Thank you so much for stopping by. So for today's video, I wanted to do a chit chat get ready with me. I haven't done one on my channel since last Christmas. If you haven't seen that Sleigh Bells Christmas chit chat get ready with me, make sure to check that out. I will link it in the ticker above. I can't remember the last time I did one on my channel for you guys, and there is a topic weighing really heavily on my chest that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to come on here and talk about with you guys, share some insight, give some advice, be the person or point of reference for some of you, or just give you some words of encouragement. This chit chat get ready with me is geared towards and dedicated to first generation college students. And when I say first generation college students, I mean you're the first in your family to pursue college and or higher education. Unfortunately, you know, my parents didn't have the opportunity to go to college, so there were certain things that, or certain pieces of information that wasn't able to be passed down to me, and it made my college experience 10 times more hard than the average person. So just as a person who comes from an impoverished background, someone who is comes from a family of immigrants, or you're just the first in your family to think about higher education, I want to dedicate this video to you. I'm going to be giving you some tips on post-grad, tips on getting through college, finding funding, the whole and we're gonna be creating a bomb-ass makeup look. Before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload, and let's get it on. So for foundation, I am going to be using the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and I'm going to be using it in the shade Mocha. Really love this foundation. If you're new to my channel, I have oily combination skin. I get oily right about here, like super oily, okay? And around the perimeter of my face is a little drier, but I do everything geared towards oily skin just because the bulk of my skin is oily. Also guys, I have clean brushes. All of my brushes are clean. Did you hear me? All of them. I wash them all. Be proud. Cash App me some money. I really like semi-matte or demi-matte finishes. They're some of my favorite finishes to get in foundation. I just think it just looks so beautiful. But the first thing I want to talk about, if you are a first gen college kid, the first thing I want to talk about is actually niche.com. So I'm going to explain why I think this website is really important, especially if you come like me and you come from an impoverished background where there just isn't money to go to college. You have to find your own funding. You have to find everything. Niche.com is great because it helps you sort through colleges. Before, when I was going to school, I graduated high school in 2013. Before, when I was in college, it was called College Prowler. Basically, you're able to search everything about a college. So down to the party scene, whether they have the sorority or the fraternity you're thinking about joining, whether they have the major that you're interested in, or whether they have a healthy department if you're not sure about what major or what thing do you want to study. I think it's really important to start doing research on what school you're trying to go to as early as possible, because then it gives you time to focus on trying to meet those parameters to get into that school. So if you know that school looks for a 1800 or better on your SATs, you already know that's the school you want to go to. So now you're just focused on meeting that SAT or ACT requirement. You're just focused on finding funding, or you're just focused on the other things versus still looking for a school to even consider. I really love this foundation. It just looks so damn good. But the real reason why I think that website is especially important is because you're able to find scholarships on that website. So that was one of the places that I was looking for, and I got one main scholarship to go to school, and it was a private scholarship from the school I attended, but I had other small scholarships that basically covered a lot of the other extra shit that I ended up getting in college. My scholarship only paid for the lowest or the cheapest kind of dorm. So if I got something with a suite or my own bathroom or my own living room, I used my other scholarships to pay the difference. Another thing that I would always suggest to people is look for a school that has work study or they offer on-campus jobs. And let me tell you why. Having an on-campus job or having a job in college is extremely important because it'll, one, teach you how to manage real life money, because you're not at home, so you're gonna need extra things. Your mom might not be able to send you a care package with your feminine products this month, so you might need to go out and get them yourselves. Or your dad might not be able to send you or come up and buy you those extra pair of boxers or detergent or whatever it is, whatever adult-ish shit that you may need. It's always good to have your own money just sitting around and, you know, building up for yourself, because it makes the world of a difference. Work study is cool because you get to work and part of your income or the money you make goes towards paying off your tuition, and then you get to keep the rest in a form of whether it be direct deposit, check, whatever it is that your school does. But I really like that option because you're able to pay off some of your school tuition, you know? So I would always look for work study programs. If you're already in school, I would check to see if your current school has a work study program or if they offer on-campus jobs, because an on-campus job is cool because you're not stressing yourself out too much in terms of traveling to your place of employment, because that's gonna happen your junior and senior year when internships start running up your backside and you're gonna need all that energy. So I would definitely suggest for the first year or two to look for an on-campus job. It'll leave you with less stress. It'll leave you, you know, just less to worry about. You don't have to, especially if you're like me and I'm coming from New York City. So going to a school outside of New York City, I don't have a license, you know, and living in New York City, I never needed one. I still don't need one, you know? So going to a school that you needed a car to get around, oh my God, God forbid I had an off-campus job. How the hell was I getting there? It was so flippin' stressful. You know, being able to get to and from work, because I worked at when I entered school, I worked at the Hollister nearest my school, and I didn't have a car, and I wasn't about to ask my poor ass mom to swing me no money for a car. You know, she's trying to focus on how she's gonna get rent. She don't got car money. I always would suggest either work study or an on-campus job for your first year or two. For concealer, we're going to be using the True Complexions HD Corrector. So one thing that I really want to stress to you guys is a postgraduate position, and it's really hard to secure a postgraduate position because coming out of college and you don't have a job lined up for you, shit is real, okay? So to prevent you from not having to be in a situation like me, one of the things that I would suggest is while you're in school, start having internship experience. I had all the internship experience. That definitely won't necessarily land you a job, but there was a key thing that I didn't do during my internships that I wish I did that would have aided me in landing a postgraduate job. And one of the things that I didn't do is I didn't network as hard as I possibly can, because what I'm realizing is that, you know, the job market is full of low-key nepotism. Low-key y'all. Lord, God forbid you studied something creative like me. God forbid. You're in shit street if you definitely didn't make the right connections while you were in school. So one of the things I really want to stress to you guys is ending of sophomore year, start looking for the following semester's internships, you know? And to gain internship experience before you begin interning, I personally would suggest joining clubs and or organizations at your school that is geared towards your field of study. So for example, I studied broadcast journalism while I was in school. So I was involved in everything from the radio station, I was writing for the newspaper, I was anchoring, I started off doing MOSing for our TV station. Like, be involved, you know? Make sure you get some experience before you even start looking for an internship. So I would suggest looking for clubs or organizations on your campus that is geared towards, you know, your field of study, whether it be psychology, journalism like me, whether you're studying business. Trust me, there are clubs or groups of people in your niche or in your same school that's trying to do the same thing. So that would be my suggestion. So when it's time to look for an internship, your resume is already low-key popping. That is key, you guys. It is key to gaining some real world experience, and two, meeting some real world connections that could then later translate into a postgraduate job, which is what we're trying to secure right now. I'm gonna take a fluffy angled blending brush to a clean, fluffy angled blending brush to blend out the concealer. Once you land the internship, I would definitely suggest do not just be another intern. Companies look at interns like popcorn bitches, like y'all are just replaceable, and no, you need to be a name, you need to be a memorable face. Any chance there is to learn, any chance there is to get your hands dirty, any chance there is to help, jump at it. Be the first one to offer your help, your services, your hands, your feet, whatever. Your kidney, whatever. And you want to be someone that when they see your name pop up 2 years later, they're gonna remember, like, oh yeah, we had her as an intern, let's bring her in for an interview. Oh yeah, we had him as an intern a couple semesters ago. Oh yeah, let's bring him for an interview. Or let's connect with him so we can get a on the phone interview going. You want that to happen. You don't want to just be an intern. Anytime there is room for you to get your hands dirty, to help, or to be of service, even if it's outside of your job description, do it. Get to know recruiters, hiring managers. Become besties with your supervisor, okay? When I mean besties, if you went and bought yourself some coffee, go buy some blasted coffee for your supervisor too. You want to stick out as much as possible in their mind. I'm gonna take a pause. I always leave the inner part of my concealer to get kind of tacky and yellowish before I finish blending that out. So I'm actually going to reach for another Black Radiance product, which is funny. So their True Complexion Contour Palette. You guys already know this is one of my faves. You've seen it in a bunch of videos. I'm just going to take the deepest color in the palette and my famous trusty F77 brush from Sigma, and we're gonna contour. You wanna make sure that you're keeping in touch with your former supervisors, because that's where I fell off, right here. This is where it effed me up. I thought just getting the internship and doing the work was enough, but it's not. Oh, this contour is just so warm, guys. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. And that's where I effed up. I didn't keep in contact with my former supervisors. I didn't make it a point to keep in contact with my former supervisors until I was looking for a job and I was struggling. While you're at these internships, find out who it is that is doing the hiring or doing the looking through the resumes. Use your first couple of weeks to scout and be nosy as hell and ask all the right questions so you can know whose information you need to collect. So you'll know who it is that you need to make sure that you connect with, or you got to make sure that they see your work. Whatever your field of study is, find out who it is, whatever supervisor, hiring manager, recruiter, whatever they call it in your field of study. Find out who it is. I'm gonna take a loosely packed fluffy blending brush just to blend out the rest of that inner part of that concealer there. I think if you guys take away anything from what I say today, I really want to stress that during your internship process, because internship is a must, you need that real world experience. So don't think no, doesn't matter what your field of study is, get an internship, get a blasted internship in your junior and or senior year. Okay, get it popping. If you take away anything that I say from today, I think it should be make sure you connect with those people and make sure you keep in contact. So even after the internship, hey, just writing to say Merry Christmas, hope you guys are having a wonderful year, whatever, make sure you keep in contact, make sure you keep that connection going. Once you graduate, nobody's checking for you. Especially if you come from a poor and or impoverished background. Nobody's checking for you. Nobody's checking for you but you. So you need to make sure that you have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted. All right, how we looking, y'all? How's the base looking? I think we're looking pretty okay. So for today's featured palette, we are actually going to be using the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1. Because there's a volume 2, but we're going to be using the volume 1 palette. I did a first impressions / review of this palette, so if you want to check that video out, I'll also link it in the ticker above. We're actually going to take Guantanamera, which is this really pretty mauve color, down at the bottom, and I'm going to dip my brush, and we're going to actually use that as our first color / transition color. Let's see. Let's hope I don't fuck up. I think I'm feeling kind of halo eye. I haven't done a halo eye in a while as well. like a serious cut creased halo eye. So I think we're gonna do that as well. Yeah, I think I really want to stress that just make those connections, because after school, it's definitely real, you know, and it's real, y'all. So I think this next thing that I want to talk about is actually, it definitely is geared towards poor kids. Impoverished backgrounds, poor backgrounds, you're socioeconomically disadvantaged, however you want to call it, because, you know, you just have less, unfortunately for you. If you live in the hood and you happen to go to college and you come out of college and you can't find a job in your field, I just want to say words of encouragement to you. Don't stop looking. It's going to be hard and it's not going to get any easier. I graduated May of 2018. I just found a job in my field. And this is after consistent looking, okay? And it's hard because, you know, you come out of school and your family is expecting you to kind of, if not a lot of the financial responsibility, and you fresh out of school, you're trying to figure out how to file your blood clot taxes. You know, you're trying to figure out how to start a 401k, or how to, you know, health insurance. What? You're still trying to figure shit out for yourself. One thing I'm going to suggest is actually, if you have your resume, if you have your address on your resume, take it off. Take it off. You'll be surprised at how employers will see your, well, there's a couple reasons why you shouldn't have your address on your resume. One, if you're applying for a job out of state, they're going to prioritize the in-state person than you. It doesn't matter if you're more qualified. Doesn't matter if you have more experience, the best references, doesn't really matter. They're going to prioritize the person that lives in state over you. So you just don't even want to deal with that. Secondly, you'd be surprised at how some people and or companies will prejudge you based on your address. Let me say that one more time for the kids in the back. You will be surprised at how much a company and or recruiter and or hiring manager, whoever, will judge you based on the address you have on your resume, not your experience. None of that matters, okay? Some places really do judge you, and I'm not saying all, I definitely don't want to say all, but some places will look at your address and think twice before calling you back for that interview. And you don't want to be that person. You don't want to fall to that stigma. So I will always suggest, for those two reasons, taking your address off of your resume. If you're suffering from depression out of school, which is something that I suffered, I felt very crappy that I wasn't getting a job. I felt very unaccomplished. You know, I did all this work to get a degree and I'm still living in the projects. I'm still living in the hood. I am still struggling. I still do not have money for food. I still do not, like it. Who am I to cry talking about it? It gets so real. And I just want to say, for anyone going through that same struggle, similar struggle, whatever, just keep pushing, because when you find that job, the sigh of relief that will come over your life, that will come over your body, your soul, it can't be beat. And then it makes getting the job even sweeter. And I'm gonna tell you why, because my colleagues from college, I'm very happy that they are where they are in life, but I'm gonna tell you something, I feel damn good that I was able to accomplish the same with nothing. I started off with nothing and I came from nothing. So if you are in this position, I really, really want to encourage you to just keep pushing, man. Keep pushing, because when you get the job, when you get the dream role, when you get the promotion, whatever it is that you're seeking for, oh, it's gonna feel damn good. I'm actually gonna take a bit of cafecito and I'm going to precisely push that product into my crease. I'm not gonna really do much blending. I'm just gonna be doing a lot of placing. Stay encouraged, man. And if you live in the hood, real shit, guys, if you live in the hood, watch your company. It's very easy not to, I live in the hood, I'm from the hood, okay? I'm not trying to downplay or down talk the people who live there, but there are some people who are not. Align yourself with people who are trying to do the same thing as you, so you don't get sidetracked. You know, it's really easy to come back home and to fall into really negative habits, or to fall into old habits that you worked so hard to get rid of. Whatever the situation is for you, align yourself with people who are trying to do the same as you. And that's true shit. Make sure that you're keeping healthy company around you. Make sure that you're not losing sight of the end goal, you know, your original end goal, because you don't want to do that. And what's crazy, I had a job lined up. Without telling too much, I ended up losing the job before I even started. You know, I had a post-grad position lined up and it slipped right through my fingers on some shit that I really couldn't control. I was depressed over that for months because I came back home to the same really poor, negative situation that I was running away from, that I went to college to get away from in the first place. So coming back to that with nothing to show for it, aka a postgraduate job, I felt so defeated. If I did not have healthy friends and healthy relationships in my corner, people in my corner encouraging me and telling me to keep pushing and to keep searching and to, you know, volunteer here, keep your experience up. Like, if I didn't have people in my ear telling me that, oh buddy, if I didn't have people in my corner, both family and friends, telling me and encouraging me to keep going, I'm not sure where I would have been. So if you need that, I'm here to tell you, keep going. It's just really hard after school. And then it made me, you know, depression after school is so real. It made me even question why the F did I even go to school in the first place? I went to school and struggled to get a degree that I'm still poor. I'm still broke as hell. Like, I'm still in a situation, I feel like, and then I was seeing people from high school who didn't even go to college on vacation. Oh God, what that will do to your mental. You know how much it is, you went to school, you got your bachelor's, you got your master's, whatever it is, and you're working a retail job just to make sure you have money in your pocket to eat, and you're seeing chicks or guys from high school who did God knows what, but they're on vacation? Yo, that will send, if nothing else, send you through the roof. That, I promise you, that right there will send you through the roof. You're working day and night to make sure you have food to eat. And homeboy who did not go to school, who did not even care to graduate, he graduated high school at the skin of his teeth, is on vacation. It's 5 years later, 4 years later, you done graduated college. Yo, that will really mess up your mental, bro. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go off camera and cut my crease in whatever shape I decide, and then we will be back. I'm first going to dip into the blue in this palette. I have not touched the blue ever in this palette, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I wanna fill in kind of like the outer perimeter of this crease and then leave the center for this green here. I really hope that this video, besides me giving you guys some makeup tips and showing you what I'm creating, I'm really hoping that the topic at hand really does help somebody though. All jokes aside, because, you know, it could just get real quick. Something else that I would suggest to you guys is, while you're in school, work on your credit. If you haven't had the chance to ever work on your credit, I would suggest starting now. If your parents buy your books, I would suggest to them, hey mom or dad, can I pull out a credit card just to buy my books? I would buy all my school supplies on that credit card and then take the money your parents were gonna give you anyways and pay it off. That's what I did, basically, and I can't tell you how happy I am that I did that, because now I got the job that I wanted to. Now I'm starting to look for my own place, and everywhere wants to know your credit score. Everywhere wants to know your credit score. So you definitely, oh my goodness, you definitely want to make sure that you have a healthy credit score, because if you don't, it's over for you, kid. It's not over for you. It's really good for you to have a healthy credit score, you know? In college, we're not thinking about our credit and stuff like that. We're not thinking about that in college. But out of college, oh yeah. Anything you want to do in the adult world, you need credit. You know, in terms of working on my credit, I would take out just a low-level, you know, student credit card. I would suggest Discover. Discover has amazing rates. Do not get irresponsible. It's very easy to get irresponsible with that credit card. I almost lost it. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm not gonna make it sound like I got everything down packed. I had paid for my spring break on that credit card and almost didn't pay it off. Ooh, let me tell you about the devil and how strong he is. So please work on building your credit while you're in school, because when you're in school, nobody thinks about these things, you know? And especially if you are like me, where you're coming out of school and you have mouths to feed before you can feed your own, Work on your credit. I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm actually gonna reach into Celia or Celia, not, you know, those in the Latin world. Let me know how my pronunciation is going. But we're gonna dip into Celia here. This really pretty green next to Varadero. And I'm just going to pack that on right in the very, very center. This is exactly what we wanted to do. This right here. Right here. Ah. You really want to make sure that you're fully prepared. And of course, there's some things you're going to learn on the way. Don't get me wrong, but if you could knock off some of those tasks while you're in school, so when you come out, that's one less thing to worry about, oh, by all means, you know? If you're suffering from postgraduate depression, I would definitely look into therapy. I would look into speaking to someone. I would look into all that stuff because we were definitely doing a lot better among our generation in this day and age, but we still have yet to fully normalize therapy. We still have yet to fully normalize that, and I really, really want to stress that to you guys. If you guys are going through any kind of postgraduate struggle or depression, talk to someone if need be. You know, don't be afraid to talk to someone. I'm going to take a clean angled blending brush, and I'm going to take Guantanamera and bring it down onto our waterline. So moving on, the next thing I usually do after this is blush. I'm just reaching for an oldie but a goodie. It is the e.l.f. powder blush palette, but we're actually going to reach for this deep color right here in the bottom left-hand corner. I really hope this video helped someone, you know. I definitely went off ranting on a tangent. This is not a foolproof plan to get a job after college, definitely not, but I think if you do these things, this will definitely up your chances, you know. I definitely think it'll up your chances in getting a job versus someone like me who you had to wait over a year and a half to land something in your field. I'm using another Ofra Cosmetics item, and this is one of their eyeshadow slash highlighter dupes. They work for both, and this is in the shade Bliss. It's a singlet, and I'm just using a tapered highlighter brush from Luxie Beauty. Come on, come on, give me what I need, Also, just to touch back on the post-college depression, I would really surround yourself with healthy relationships, whether it be platonic or not. You know, surround yourself with really healthy friendships, really healthy relationships with people. And I would also look into surrounding yourself with people who are trying to do the same thing as you. You'd be surprised how your circle could have an effect on your motivation, an effect on your drive. So I'm gonna line my lips in Nicolah's Bold Lip Liner. This is in the shade Black Cherry or Cherry Black. It's Black Cherry, y'all. It's Black Cherry. One of the things that I really like about this lip gloss is that instead of a brush or a doe foot applicator, it's actually a very thin, flexible spatula. Whoever at Nicolah made this decision, thank you. All right, guys, this is the finished look. I am actually really happy with this. Like I said, I hadn't dipped into this palette since I reviewed it for you guys, so this is really my first time playing in it, and I've just been letting this catch dust in my makeup collection, and by golly, I've been messing up, man. As for the topic of this Get Ready With Me, Chit Chat Get Ready With Me, I just want to give a word of encouragement. If you're going through any kind of struggle out of college, struggle in college, keep pushing, keep going, and just think long term, you know? Work on your credit, work on your networking, you know, work on securing the bag and the future for you, and don't stop for anyone, because you owe it to yourself to keep going. I hope this video was somewhat encouraging, informative, fun, whatever. I hope that you took something healthy and something good out of this video. I hope you enjoyed the makeup look. If you recreate this look, make sure to tag me, follow me on Insta, follow me on Twitter, follow me everywhere. Make sure to like and subscribe, share with your peeps, and until next time, you guys, peace. When you